I'm here with the ridiculously talented Bombay Royale, who are headlining Tent 2 tonight at the Cambridge Folk Festival. And guys, this is your first time here. Your experiences so far?
Beautiful, amazing. We've been really lucky in the UK and Europe so far. The weather's been amazing. It's been quite sunny and warm, and so we're yet to experience that festival of mud. And we started off at Glastonbury, and even that we managed to get away from the mud, but it's just been beautiful. Yeah. Stunning.
And the atmosphere so far, is this the kind of atmosphere you've been seeing at other festivals, or is there something a little bit different about the Cambridge Folk Festival that you think is going to be a bit more drawn to your kind of music?
Yeah, well, as I was saying to you on the walk over here, it's just really relaxed. It seems such a welcoming crowd, like there's a lot of love in the air. We believe in love, don't we? We do. Our music's about love. So I think it might work out.
It's so true though. It's a real kind of like family atmosphere. I think I'm going to preempt it, but I think you're going to have a wicked sort of time tonight, and you're going to be really well received. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the music that you've got coming up. So you've been touring bits and bobs of the UK, and we were talking about bits of Scandinavia as well. How was that?
Yeah, we had a great time in Scandinavia. It was one I don't think any of us had even been there before, so it was wonderful people, really generous. We did only not huge shows, but they were really super enthusiastic. Danes went crazy, so yeah, it was really good. We had a blast.
Go on the Danish. So what's the biggest festival that you've done so far? Is this probably the biggest crowd?
We did Glastonbury, as I said at the start, and we were at the Westholt stage on that day, and that was pretty exciting, and there was a great crowd that was there. And even though it was in the middle of the day and it was quite hot, we still had them all up and doing the Bollywood dancing and all that sort of stuff.
Is that something you promote during your performances then? Do you dance on stage at all?
Very much so. So we have lots of choreographed movements that we teach everyone, and the skipper has a couple of doozies that he special moves.
You wouldn't describe them as choreographed, I don't think.
Can I see a sneak preview of one?
No.
I'll be watching it anyway.
Once we put on the outfits, and we because the band is very much about the characters as well, so it's a stage show that once we don all those sorts of things, that's when we really get into the mood of it. But right now we're having a good time, and it's a beautiful garden that we're in here right now, and there's fairies and pixies running around.
It's super sweet. It's really, really nice atmosphere. So you guys you released an album last May. Really, really well received. Kind of reached #1 spots on iTunes for sort of worldly music. What is next?
Another album. Yeah, we don't stop, writing. We've been writing a lot since then, so we're excited about the next album coming up. We're going to go back to Australia and record that. And just generally, exploring new directions, I suppose. We're inspired by the cinematic music that came out of India in the 60s and the 70s. We love those sounds, and then now we're kind of exploring our own, directions based on that. So really exciting to sort of get all that new material out there as well.
I'm so excited to see you guys tonight. Literally, I cannot wait. Do you feel like your music has kind of progressed and changed? So does it, with the feedback from your audiences and just kind of generally where you've been all over the world, does your music change to kind of suit these, or do you keep it real to its roots and how you wanted it to be from the very beginning?
Andy's probably good at answering.
I think there's a couple of questions in there in one, but when we first started the band, we were purely just doing songs from the old movies, and then as we've developed, we've written. Our main thrust now is writing our own material, and it's based on that. And we still do a few of the old songs; they're a nice touch tone, but for the most part, we're writing our own material. And I think, and as for the different audiences, I think I don't know about country to country. It's definitely can be different from festival to festival, and so. Sometimes we'll sort of select more rocky kind of stuff if the crowd's really up for dancing. Sometimes if they're listening a bit more, we might choose some of the more ambient things to do. But the tunes themselves are pretty big and there's a lot of arrangement in them. There's not much room to move inside of that. Like they're very much, there's pretty orchestrated and specific what we do. So, yeah.
what we're composing at the moment, there's a lot of freedom with the Bombay Royale, I guess because we're in a genre of our own, there's no one else that's really doing it. If the guitarist comes up with a great riff idea and then the drummer just comes in, we can get away with doing any style. I think there's the funk, there's the disco, there's the surf, so we're really kind of just doing whatever we want to do, and it seems to kind of fit in.
You know what? You'll be the envy of a lot of artists and people to have that freedom to just go wherever you want to go and be your own. You're in your own little niche as well. So when you come to a festival like this, you know, I don't think we're going to have anyone else quite like you guys, and I think that's a really nice.
You haven't been flooded with bands of this type yet.
Not that I can see, but it's so exciting. I think it just brings a real added flavour, because it is a folk festival, so it's folk roots, and actually we've got all sorts of different sounds coming out and all sorts of different instruments as well, which is again a really nice thing to see because it's inspiring the younger generation as well. So what with the new album and kind of touring and bits and bobs, will you continue to sort of go on world tours? Are you going to stay in Australia for a little bit?
No, we've got some plans. Yeah, maybe maybe back here, maybe in other places, North America and so on. I think there are some things in the pipeline, so we're seeing a lot. You know, we'll probably be travelling again quite soon.
Yeah, it's more down. It's much down to fate and what we get off. I mean, we love touring, we love playing. It's a big band, so it has to. You know, if there's any rich benefactors in, who need to sink their financial empire, then
Bollywood style.
Yeah, Bollywood style. Then,
well, I know we'd love to have you back. And the last question I was just going to ask was how you started, because I think it's really interesting that you started off kind of just, am I right in thinking it was to kind of record the old songs from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, Bollywood,
60s,
more later?
70s, yeah, more 60s, 70s.
And all sort of Bollywood films and just kind of, and it then took off from there and you were really well received?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That's
the gist of it.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it. Yeah.
I think it's a really lovely start, and I wish you all the luck. Have a great festival. These guys are headlining tonight, so if you're able to kind of come down and watch, do come along. We'll be taking a few snippets online, and just follow these guys because they've got such a cool flavour. You've got a really nice sound to you, and we really want to see you come back to the UK after you've written the new album. So, and you can get the present album on iTunes.
That's right.
Yeah, Amazon. So and check the website is at thebombayroyale.com.
Yeah.
So check it out, guys, and thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.